What a start for Anthony Barella. 6 under through 8. Barella all the way to the pin on a rope. Robinson matching Barella's effort through 8. And Robinson from way deep. Good afternoon and welcome. Today, the world's best players transition from wooded fairways to the massive rolling undulation found at Ivy Hill. It's round 2 of the 2024 PDGA World Championships presented by Zuka. Our leaders, Anthony Barella, Isaac Robinson, getting warmed up. A beautiful Thursday afternoon. And located atop of that clubhouse is where our booth is, and we're so glad that you're joining us here at Ivy Hill. And welcome in, everyone. Terry Miller joined alongside 3-time world champion Nate Doss. Nate, even just watching that intro from yesterday gave me some of those feels, those vibes, everything that was taking place. We're watching these two who happened to go first and second at the Worlds last year, kicking off their efforts here in 2024 in incredible fashion. My question to you is, A, is this a rivalry that's officially starting? And then B, who was your rival? I mean, you had three. You have 3 world titles. Let's start there. Who is your rival? Who's after you?
You know, Dave Feldberg, Avery Jenkins. Those were the big rivals for me. And, you know, there was several others around that time, but those guys were definitely at the top there. But, you know, you think of the classic rivalries, the Klymos, the Schultz, the Wysocki's and the Macbeths. Are we seeing one between these two young guys? I'm not quite sure, but certainly their play makes it seem like it's going to be, because obviously Anthony Barella, what a season he's had, and Isaac Robinson, the defending champion. And these guys finished 1-2 last year, and they're 1-2 now. So an incredible day, and I agree with you. The goosebumps, they're happening right now. I feel them.
Yeah, and we often see, as we're watching some of these great shots and highlights, this year it feels like we've seen AB rivaled up essentially against Gannon for most of the year. Isaac hasn't been in that conversation as often by any means. However, picking a pretty good time to be in the mix here after the opening round. And we look back at last year's World Championships, where there as well, featuring 2 very different styles of course. We had the Brewster Ridge, we had the Fox Run Meadows, just completely different courses, and that's what we're being offered up here when we talk about the New London Tech course yesterday and then Ivy Hill today.
And what a final round that AB put on last year. And I keep talking about this. What can you do in the final round? It's not what you do in the first round, it's how you finish. Robinson finished very strong as well last year, and in a way kind of holding off a lot of these guys that were trying to chase him down. But, you know, Isaac Robinson last year winning 2 major titles, and AB this year with the way he started off. Today, like looking at the leaderboard, there's kind of the here and now plus the future, you know, and then you see the guys that are just behind the Macbeth, the Wysocki's, the Heimburgs. They're chasing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of the week goes.
Well, and I love this stat when you're looking at your repeat 1-2 finishes at the World Championships. We were just talking about Wysocki and Macbeth, where Macbeth finished second to him in the 2 years that Wysocki took it down in 2016 and 17. And then, of course, Wysocki a contender when Macbeth had put together 4 of his world titles, where he finished runner-up, and then Klymo and Schultz in 2000 and 2002, and then Klymo and Scott Stokely. Scott Stokely in 1997 and 1998, before some of you were born, Scott Stokely was finishing second at the World Championships to the greatest of all time, and then yesterday goes out and shoots the hot round of the B pool at the age of 54.
Just incredible, and also newly minted in the Hall of Fame, so congratulations to Scott.
And the fourth card is certainly stacked, as we were just talking about some of these gentlemen. That was Macbeth's second. Here's Ricky Wysocki throwing his second on the first hole. And both of them would go on to birdie, and this is Gannon Burr for his birdie look. So all three of those gentlemen picking up the birdie on hole one, off to a good start.
And not even for 1 minute yesterday did I think any one of these guys were out of it. In fact, you know, this is just everybody jockeying for position. I think the way this course is going to be played today is the big topic of conversation. How are these guys going to attack? The conditions are nearly perfect.
Going.
This is them on the tee of the hole number 2, which is actually one of the easier holes out here at Ivy Hill.
And watching Gannon go third, the other two very close. Gannon the closest, and they would all go on to make birdie on 2. Catch you up. And here is Burr throwing his up shot.
I just want the fans at home, take a look at the flag on the basket. No movement whatsoever. The trees are completely still. We're getting some gusts of maybe 10 miles an hour, but overall, great day. This was Wysocki out of the bunker, which is a hazard. That was to save his par.
Oh, and Macbeth's birdie attempt is just shy, so he'll have to settle for a par as well. Gannon with the tap-in birdie. So that card scoring early and often here in the first couple of holes. Antala up 10 spots currently. Him and Evan Smith both with perfect rounds, 4 under through 4. And the third member of our broadcast team is down on the ground. He'll be hiking up the hills, but first he's going to catch up with the PDGA's own Danny Voss. Take it away.
Danny, Director of Marketing here at PDGA. It's quite the production here at Ivy Hill. It's beautiful, and it feels like a major championship. What does the PDGA try to focus on to make it feel like a major championship?
You know, we really want to make sure that, especially like all the world championships, have that consistent look and feel. You know, when you are an athlete and you go to Am Worlds, we really want you to know that, hey, this is that last step before you're here at a course like this, at an event like this. You know, the branding, the hospitality, you know, all those things being nice and consistent. We're really striving to make that happen. We're really hitting our stride this year, I think, and, you know, more good stuff to come. And I'm really excited for 2025, 2026, and beyond.
The bar does continue to get raised, it seems like, and I feel like this is a testament to that, what's going on out here. In the future, what can people do if they want to put a bid in to get their own world championship or major championship?
Sure, of course, yeah. So major bids are open right now, so submit your bids. All of y'all out there watching. They close October 1st. But, you know, Pro Worlds next year being in Finland, we're really, really, really excited for that. You know, UC and the team there are going to be excellent hosts like we're experiencing here right now. But, you know, it doesn't have to be just Pro Worlds that gets outside of the U.S. You know, we can have that global representation with Junior Worlds, or I think Masters Worlds would be a great fit for, you know, another event and major in Europe, let's say. So lots of good stuff ahead, but we just need to receive those bids. So let's see them.
Well, Danny, one last thing. Disc golf isn't just major championships. It always starts at the grassroots level. Tournament directors across the board, regardless of tier, are the lifeblood of our sport competitively. What can people do if they want to start running their own events, whether it's a C tier all the way up to a major?
First thing is get out there and play those events. You know, go on Disc Golf Scene, search for your zip code, get out there and play that local C tier. I mean, I just played one last week. Don't look up my scores, don't worry about any of that. But, you know, those are happening all the time. Get involved, volunteer, play. You know, if you want to start running those events, contact the event support team and they'll set you up. It's, you know, they're there to help you do that. And it's really not that difficult of a process. Anybody can do it, and that's what we want to see. So get out there and get involved, volunteer, play, run them, do the whole thing.
You heard the man. Get involved. Carry the torch for your community. Back to you in the booth, guys.
Appreciate it, Brian and Danny. Now we're with Gannon Burr on the tee of 4.
A very unique hole. See the hay bales down there. Short of them is a hazard. Long of the basket is out of bounds. That's a green flag for Gannon Burr. One of the mistakes to make here is going long OB. You're forced to go to a drop zone. If you land in the hazard short, you will be able to putt from there with a one-stroke penalty. That's green flag for Ricky as well.
So two very different approaches, seeing the forehand coming out of Wysocki as opposed to the backhand from Burr.
And isn't that going to make today so interesting? I think yesterday playing in the woods, we saw a lot of the same shot. Today we're going to see these guys attacking in so many different ways. And the beautiful Shenandoah Mountain Range here, high above the course at Ivy Hill. And Terry, I got to say, this is one of the most beautiful places we've been for a major championship.
Looks like we're ready to go with the chase card.
This is the 255 teaching. This is the chase card. And teeing off first from Austin, Texas, Bradley Williams. And next, from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Simon Lazat. From Yuriskaya, Finland, Lori Lehtinen. From Minocqua, Wisconsin, Adam Camus.
Down.
See our chase card effectively getting off the tee of hole number one, and it looks like we've got Brian Earhart along with Simon Lazat for our IDEO Walk and Talk.
Simon, you're in bounds. You stuck the hyzer in play. Hole number one. How are you feeling about Ivy Hill right now?
Pretty good. This course is pretty crazy. Some very interesting shots, some very interesting greens. I only got one look at it in practice because, you know, New London, Ivy Hill, it's really hard to decide which one you want two shots at versus one, and I chose New London. Just because I feel a bit more comfortable out here. You know, you can swing out wide hyzers, and we play these OB-ridden courses all the time, so hopefully it doesn't scare me too much today, and I just kind of remember what I did 2 days ago and keep it in bounds, and if the putter keeps connecting, then I have no worries.
Simon, thanks for your time. Good luck out there.
Thanks, Brian.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brian. And we're catching up with Wysocki on the green of 4. And the birdie is in.
This is a really great look at the green. Once you get over the hay bales, there's a little bit of a landing zone behind the pin as well. Here's Macbeth, who played short of those hay bales, so he's in the hazard, putting for par.
Again, you did the same thing. Yeah, the same thing.
He was low on the previous birdie attempt, low on this par attempt, and I think about the, a few of the putts we saw him yesterday, low. So there is something about the release coming out of Macbeth.
Well, and you hear him saying it.
Yeah.
He did it again. He said it 3 times to himself. 4th player on the card, Andrew Marweed.
And Gannon, perfect start so far, 4 for 4. I caught up with him before the round today. Just said, what can I share with the fans? He said, my head's still in it. I'm okay. Everything's going to be just fine. Just got to come out here, clean up a few mistakes, and he's ready to go. And clearly, that is the case so far. 4 for 4.
God, not surprised at all to hear that from Gannonburg. He's one of the best, and he has a great head on his shoulders. It's a great shot there. He will be dealing with a pretty significant slope on the side hill there.
And if you're wondering, why did Simon only really have time for one practice round, is he was opening a brand new course over the weekend. There was a ribbon cutting ceremony on Saturday in Massachusetts of a course that he was directly involved with. And even I was thinking about the timing, like, hey, when is he getting to Worlds? When is he going to get over there? And that was something that he was doing throughout the weekend. So Simon certainly very active in a lot of capacities, which doesn't surprise anyone.
Well, I mean, he's one of our superstars, right? So he's got a lot going on, and he loves disc golf. He wants to see succeed, and being there for that opening is very important to him. This does not look good. He's going to need some help, some skip.
Oh, and he's going to get it.
Wow. He knows he got lucky there.
He certainly did. He definitely missed his line as you see him lining it back up after the fact. That was close.
It was very close, and it's surprising. This is back uphill, and I think it's only because he had so much angle on it. If that disc was a lot flatter, it would have almost just grabbed too much grass and stayed out of bounds.
Or if that path was just grass there, it definitely would have slowed down.
Correct.
The fact that it wasn't grass is the only reason why I think it had enough momentum to eventually get over, but he got away with it.
And I think if you're going to go low here at Ivy Hill, you're going to have to push these out-of-bounds lines. But I think Simon said it perfectly. These guys are used to playing with a lot of out-of-bounds. And with the conditions today, it really is stay within yourself, execute shots, and I think you're going to go low. To take away the wind factor here, I think is a big advantage for our competitors.
Yeah, we're looking at 5 to 7 miles per hour forecasted over the next 3 or 4 days of play out here. So should be perfect scoring conditions. And with that, we're going to take a quick break on the network. We'll be right back.
My relationship with Suga, it's just like a family. Sometimes they just surprise, send me a thing I'm not even know. When I arrive home, boom, the box.
Such a great product, and Zuka's always there for me whenever I need anything.
After every tournament, I get a call. No matter the results, they're always there supporting me.
They have so many different things that can be a solution for a disc golfer.
That was really one of the main reasons why we partnered, is because I wanted the best of the best.
How do they know I want that? I'm like, duh, that's how the family thinking about you.
Official merchandise of the 2024 PDGA World Championships. A wide array of apparel items and gear celebrating the biggest competition in the sport. Shop the entire collection on shopledgestone.com.
Beth at 69.
I just told myself, you got to will this one in there. Whatever you have, just will it in there.
This man is unbelievable.
This is what athletes live for. This is the moment.
Your rating is one of the most valuable things you get with a membership. This gives you accurate numbers to track how well you've been doing and your overall improvement in the game. You also get a member number when you register with the PDGA. Your PDGA number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdga.com/join.
The United States Disc Golf Championship. tournament with history unmatched in the disc golf world.
Oh,
You bet.
Colin Hanley is on fire.
Talk about giving the crowd a show. What a performance from Kyle Klein.
Gannonberg, this kid is unbelievable. Oh my God.
TeamDiscraft.com, your ultimate destination for exclusive player-inspired releases, collaborations, and collections. Discover limited edition discs, apparel, and accessories you won't find anywhere else. TeamDiscraft.com brings you the gear you need for the ultimate fan shopping experience. Don't miss out on these one-of-a-kind items. Shop today and rep your favorite team.
My Zuka car is most helpful because it allows me to carry a massive amount of discs. My backups have backups, and I can fit all of that in my cart.
The putter pouch, that's definitely my favorite feature. Slick, holds everything that I need in there.
The room and the things that I can carry on the course in the Zuka fits me perfectly.
I'm not the tall person right here. I like the handle. It can be up and down. That's my point right there. All I have to do is just thinking about what I'm gonna birdie.
The 2024 World Championships are presented by the PDGA, the professional association for all disc golfers, and Zuka, disc golf carts for a better game. Exciting as we move into our 10th season. We're giving you an option for the supporter box, only 500 available at just $100 a piece. We all know what kind of collector and hoarder I am, so I'm going to have to go out and purchase one myself. Head over to dgpt.com/shop so that you can pick one up. Exclusive disc in there. Very exciting. Go find one today. And you saw this while we were at the break. Lizotte connecting just as he was calling for during the walk and talk.
I'm going to go on record. I'm going to go on record right now, Terry. If Simon Lizotte is putting well at this World Championship, he might be one of the favorite, if not the favorite. I mean, Simon, when he's making putts, he wins. And he made a big one there on hole number 1. That was a great putt there from Macbeth.
Williams on the tee of 2.
So, Terry, you see a lot of out of bounds, and we just see Bradley Williams finding it there. This hole plays uphill the entire way, and that's a little bit unfortunate for Bradley, honestly, because that hill that they're throwing into really does slow the disc down quite a bit. I think Brad just had a little too much speed on it.
You have a short putt coming back, but it will be for par. It looks like. The camera angle can be a little deceptive. We'll get a confirmation as to if that's for sure out of bounds. And a misfire here by Lizotte.
Yep, caught a little bit of a branch there. Slowed him down. It's possible that Simon could have gone out of bounds left. Just if it's short left, you can skip OB. See Lehtinen putting a lot of height on this. And utilizing that slope very nicely.
This is a par look for Gannonburg. So the birdie train will come to a momentary stop there for Gannonburg. He's going to pick up the par. Now, Hammes. I am seeing that it says Lizotte is putting for par here. So that tells me he did go out of bounds.
Yeah. I agree with you, Terry. Being short left like that's where the OB can come into play pretty quickly. And I want to change the terminology of Burr saving par there. Burr was playing hole 5 4 par. He did not go for the green in 2 shots. It's a par 4. And I think we're going to see a lot of players playing hole 5 for par. So I think Burr executed his game plan perfectly there on hole number 5. 6, super tough downhill shot. OB very close to the basket. Burr playing on that short side.
So Lizotte will pick up a bogey on hole 2. Macbeth.
Whoa, that's really high and left.
That's going to be trouble to the left side, and that is a red flag for Macbeth. I feel like the mistake you want to make there, if anywhere, is to go just deep of the basket. The OB comes into play very quickly, but it's a short comeback putt to save the par. And look at this. Williams must have been in bounds.
Okay, great call by you, Terry. The camera angle was not conclusive, so he was in bounds.
Amos connects.
Welcome to the World Championships.
Our man Calixto doing some work out there, informing all the players who will be teeing off in just a few moments. That's our lead card on the other side of the break.
You have paper scorecards that you need. PDGA scorecard is the same as well as yesterday. 6 water stations and 6 restrooms around the course. I won't bother you doing.
Hey everyone, James Conrad here with Team MVP. Just gonna talk really quickly about my team series, Neutron Detour. It's just a ton of fun to throw in the woods. You can get some really slow flip ups. I mean, this is a really cool stamp, I think, so check it out on the MVP Pro Shop.
Discover the difference at Disc Golf Deals USA. Get photos and actual weight of every disc, rewards with every purchase, and fast shipping. Your game, our passion. Shop now at discgolfdealsusa.com.
Already thinking about 2025 and the schedule, which was recently released. You can go out there and get a season pass. A couple different options for you, depending on how dedicated you want to be to getting to these various events and courses. As you see there, only 100 available of the gold pass, 200 of the silver, 300 of the bronze. Something to fit just about every budget and your adventure level. This OB so close, directly behind the basket. And Gannon lofts it in.
Let's not underplay that, Terry. That was an incredible putt. A 50-footer. If he misses his basket left, it is absolutely OB. And he just barely had enough on it, but boy, that kid has some guts. Tell you what.
Certainly enough power from Nakwa on that one. Gannon.
I mean,
barely.
Nobody would even have questioned him laying that up at all. And he went for it, and he made it. And that's what it takes to be a world champion.
Yeah, just the fact, the adjustment. You see how hard he normally jams his putts in. I mean, they come, rifling in. And that one, much more of a loft.
So, Terry, not for nothing, Raven Newsom is in the clubhouse today with an 8 under par. So that's basically the best score we've seen today. He's inside the top 10 now.
Ready for our lead card.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us here in beautiful Virginia and those watching on the Disc Golf Network, welcome to the second round of the 2024 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championships presented by Zuka. On behalf of the PDGA, the Ledgestone Group, Runk and Pratt, and the City of Lynchburg, we welcome you to the Innova course at Ivy Hill. This is the 3:15 tee time. This is the lead card. And teeing off first. One round at New London yesterday at 11 under par. He is your co-leader from Scottsdale, Arizona, Anthony Barella. And Nick, also at 11 under par, he's also your co-leader. And he is your defending world champion from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Isaac Robinson. From Shepherd, Michigan, Luke Taylor. And from Athens, Georgia, Joseph Anderson.
I know. It's money. I know. Hey, it's money though. Best spot, right?
After going out of bounds, this is Macbeth for par, and that one in.
So closer to the basket than we saw Burr, but also at a better angle, coming kind of across the hill. But still, a great putt by Macbeth.
Thanks to Zuka for rolling the replay. And now we're going to take a look at Nate's Keys, brought to us by blackinkdisc.com, the premium disc golf store.
I think you got to wake up every morning believing that you can be a world champion, and that takes 100% commitment. We're talking the way you sleep, the way you eat, and the way you prepare, and mental strength to the final putt. That is exactly what it's going to take if you want to be a world champion. Here on the 403-foot par 3 over water. Burr taking a really stable disc, and he's going to leave himself in circle 2, but he's inbounds safely.
This is Williams' second shot, just over 300 feet to the pin, and just outside of bullseye, trying to line up a birdie.
That had that classic Bradley Williams smooth release.
I'm calling for this one to get aced this weekend. It's got to happen.
Especially with these conditions, the guys are just throwing super hard at it with a lot of stability. Simon needing that to climb the hill, and he gets the green flag.
And saw some a couple of different approaches. I think specifically about the angle in which we saw Anthony Barella. We're watching Isaac line up his second. He's going to go with the turnover.
Much more difficult shot to throw backhand over this OB, and he handles it perfectly.
Yeah, you could not ask for a better turnover from Robinson. Then, Brian, we saw quite a different approach, though, out of AB. Did you have any insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to not see AB take a spike hyzer over the horizon. I mean, I think that's what everybody thought he was going to do, but I talked to Paul Macbeth about this hole, and he said, you know, the stock hyzer is challenged by that big tree off to the right, and it only takes you so far up the fairway. He said the straight shot, which he takes, as well as AB, can take you way farther up the fairway. I think AB missed a little bit low, but he's right where the rest of these hyzers are. So it takes a little bit of trust in the equipment, but a guy like him can easily pull that off.
And I think we'll see everyone else go with forehands to this approach. It seems like the most common, and I don't want to say logical, obviously we saw what Robinson can do, but forehand into this green, yeah, I feel like you're going to see 95 out of 100 times.
Yeah, no question about it. That was a nice shot there from Joey Buckets.
Brian, what's AB lining up here?
Yeah, this is just going to be a stock forehand. OB is within circle 1 on that left side. Oh, yeah. AB and Isaac dialed in. This should be a fun shootout today.
Nerves off the tee because of the OB everywhere, and then nerves on the approach. And this isn't the only hole. I think we're going to see it on almost every single hole out here. You're worried about your out of bounds coming into play with almost every shot.
Yeah, there's over half the tee pads are not even in bounds at all, including hole 1. Those guys are teeing from out of bounds. Here's the young guy, Luke Taylor. Nice shot.
Great approaches by the entire card.
I got to tell you, we saw Chris Clemens before the tournament. He was out here practicing, Terry, and he was talking about how it's not that lefty friendly except holes 1 and 18. So, oh, and Macbeth was frustrated with it, but it worked out okay. I guess what I was getting at is that Isaac Robinson's, I don't think, going to have to worry about too many of those sidearm, disadvantages that we're so used to seeing.
And excuse me, I thought Williams was closer to the bullseye. It was actually the circle 1 whiskers that I was seeing. So he doesn't convert from there, and Simon just a few steps inside of the circle 1. And he does convert, just barely getting it over the rim.
That's a nice comeback birdie after the bogey on pretty easy hole number 2. So, unless you were under a rock, Joey Buckets winning the last Disc Golf Pro Tour down in Idlewild here on the lead card. And last weekend here in Virginia, Luke Taylor winning the Seth Burton Memorial. It's an A tier. He won, $2,500. But either way, lead card, last 2 weekends, these guys winning. Taking confidence into the World Championship.
Smooth stroke out of Taylor.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Terry, but with the conditions that we have, the only thing that's going to defeat you out here today at Ivy Hill is you. This is an execution kind of day. You need to execute because that wind is not going to affect that many shots as we see it right now.
Wow.
Okay, a lot of spike and safely inbounds. Did not expect to see him go that high.
Chance for the roll.
Oh boy, Terry. Is it going to pick up enough speed? There's a steep slope there, and yes, it is gone. You can see where the color changes in the grass. That's where it gets even steeper. And once it hit that, it had no chance of stopping. So you kind of think about it on the last hole, he gets away with that big danger putt. And here on a dangerous putt from circle 2, he gets, snake bitten with the rollaway. There is a lot of slope on the greens.
And I was just going to say, this isn't by any means the most extreme of the greens. And clearly it is a significant slope. There's a handful of holes out here that are more sloped than this. So if you were seeing it once here, it's going to happen dozens of times throughout the entire division today. At least 40 feet uphill for Burr. And he makes it.
Dude, this kid is putting so good. I mean, even the putt that he rolled away from 50, front cage. I mean, dead center in the basket. Great comeback putt.
This is pushing left. Does it check up in time? It does. We head over to Adam Hammes teeing on 4.
This is the way Ricky attacked hole number 4.
Parked.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Making hay. Even better for Robinson. Bullseye hit.
Hole 2 today, Terry, 73% of the field have birdied. 327 feet. It's uphill. And it's why I think we were so surprised with Simon taking the bogey, because of how well this has played. Brian, you were right there. Was that out of bounds?
Nope, everyone's good. That one was maybe a few inches from the rope itself, so plenty safe.
Thank you, Brian.
Second shot from Gannon on hole 8.
So I would say Gannon also playing that hole for par, being that he's still got a significant amount of distance to the basket. Wow. I'm telling you, man, we've commentated so many of Simon's big wins, and when just eerily similar how confident he looks on the green right now to a lot of those wins, Terry.
As you can see, Luke was in bounds, but you still get to take up to 1 meter if you would like. That's exactly what he's done. Slight pause, but it falls in for him.
This one kind of just a gift from Nate Heinold, the course designer. Hey, I'm going to give you a relatively easy birdie compared to some of these other ones.
I'll say this. They're making it look easy, but that green is very small in actuality. I mean, that is a very small landing zone and pinch point that they're getting to. Everyone's just executed that we've seen.
Yeah.
I promise Joe Advanced or Jen Advanced player out there is struggling when you're throwing 327 uphill to a very tiny green. But great play from our top few cards here so far and taking full advantage. Here's Macbeth, his second on the 8th.
Yeah, hole number 8 is so far uphill. We didn't see the tee shots, but they throw these tee shots down out here into the big opening. And then it's about getting as much power as you can back up the hill. Hole 8 has been birdied 35% of the time today. Rick feels like he's going to add to that stat.
No turn at all.
This is going to be very dangerously close to OB left. Is that the explanation of the rich keep getting richer?
Like AB needs help with distance, right?
Barella is one of the guys that it looks like he's throwing 50%, and he's generally the farthest person down the fairway. That's exactly what that one looked like. Not a lot to talk about here on the tee shots. Just want to put it as far down there in the fairway as you can. You do have a little bit of space to kind of really get this hyzer kind of low and wide. Oh, and Taylor was too high. Got through.
Perfectly fine result. Ellie Ezra out there. It's like on the bag or some support along with Luke.
So it's interesting how far back Burr was there because, again, 35% of the field had birdied it. And he must have just not gotten enough off the tee to feel confident going all the way up to the green. So you can see, even though Anderson looked way to the right, still well in bounds here on 3. Not the most difficult green or tee. The green, totally different story. There's a bunker within about 15 feet and a big slope to OB on the right.
McBeth with the birdie looking out of his hand. He didn't like it.
Terry, he seems angry. Just overall frustrated with this putting.
On the other hand, Wysocki converts for his birdie look. This Burr for par. Calvin Heimburg up 17 spots today. Currently at 7 under through 9 holes. And with that, we can take a look at our Innova hot rounds. And Calvin, it's about as hot as it gets.
I mean, 100% green in regulation. Perfect putting inside circle 1. He hasn't even really had to attempt anything from circle 2 with any meaning today. And here's our Innova hot rounds. You can see Raven Newsom, as we talked about it before. Not 8 under, 9 under for the tournament, up 57 spots so far today. That's a big move at a world championship for Raven Newsom. I will say, it feels like we're going to see a double-digit round at least by one, if not by many today. That's the bunker. God, that's so close. Call that 8 feet?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be close. Yeah, hazard.
I think the players got to know that if visually they land left of the basket, that they're going to be inside that bunker.
Yeah, there's a very good chance of it.
That's why they want to try to keep it low right and try to utilize the slope of that hill, and that should be in the bunker as well. You can see how Isaac landed on top of the hill versus coming into the slope as it comes up.
Let the slope kind of stop it and do the work for you, but not with too much angle that it could also pop up and roll away.
Yeah, it's a fine line you have to walk there. I mean, if it's me, I'm going to take the line of the OB on the right side and just try to ride that line with something stable. That's exactly what Buckets has done here. And you can see how it hit that slope and stopped versus on the top of the hill, like we just saw from Robinson.
Well, more, didn't you? Yeah.
Seeing just shy of 300 feet to the pin for Barella.
It's got to slow down, Terry. That's
going to be close. We'll see if the spotter gives us an official indication or okay, it looks like he was just finishing with the green flag there. So very close for Barella, but inbounds.
Just a little too floaty Needed something a little bit more stable that could just try to dig. Here's Simon. He was in bounds. Oh.
Come on, Simon.
Wysocki on the tee of 9.
The more aggressive you get. And Terry, that looked like to me like it cut rolled or hit a spectator and kicked in bounds.
Well, we saw the disgust from Ricky with the effort. It's just a matter of now what's the result.
I think he's in bounds. We'll go back and check that out momentarily. And what a huge birdie from Simon. The big arm pays off. He's just the 10th birdie on that hole today.
The hazard can come into play depending on a reaction off the basket here.
And, you know, the Achilles heel of Barella is the putting, and he's been very vocal about that. You know, he's got to be able to make putts. That wasn't a gimme by any means, and I think he missed it on the proper side.
Nothing but buckets for Joey.
Nice.
Converts from circle's edge. And Robinson will save the par after the hazard stroke that he'll receive for going in the bunker.
Oh, no. Very nervous putt there from Luke. Couldn't have been more than 12 feet.
Let's see how he can bounce back from that. We'll take another look at this Wysocki throw.
As I was saying, the more aggressive you get, the tighter it is up the fairway. This was a terrible tee shot, way right. Look how far right he is of the line. And I think he cut off the tree. He hit that tree and kicked in bounds, Terry. What a fortunate break for Ricky. He was 50 feet OB. And he's going to take advantage of it. Wow.
So good.
Perfect placement here for Paul. See if he can take advantage of it. That looks on a great line. Check the speed. There's Obi long. Yeah, very nice. Using that little upslope there to slow him down.
And that's going to check up just shy of the basket.
You know, in the
Great
lower
forehand.
left-hand corner, we're seeing the flyover, Terry, and standing on this tee pad, it's so intimidating because you're looking downhill. You can see the hay bales. You can't really see the OB long. And preparation and using your feel here on 4 is so critical. It's 392, but it plays a lot less than that. So you have to really go with your gut on this one to try to dial it in.
I was expecting higher and with more spike out of Barella. Instead, this one's going to be low, and it goes right into the OB. And from there, I believe they go to a drop zone that almost all but guarantees a 4. That drop zone is a long ways away.
Yeah, the drop zone is way left. It's about pin high, but it's like a 70-footer. And so big mistake. That's the mistake you really kind of don't want to make. If you're going to make a mistake, make it short.
Or just skip over the bales.
And it should be noted that Isaac is throwing a shot that's the potential. He's saying, if I'm a little short, I might skip over those bales, but making sure he's not going long. Long just takes par completely out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, as you're saying, the mistake to make is to be short, if anywhere. And that's going to be a red flag for Taylor as well. And thanks to our friends over at Flight Factory, we're able to take another look at this from Isaac Robinson. And Flight Factory is offering up 20% off on Calvin Heimburg discs, apparel, and accessories. Support Calvin Heimburg and other pros over at flightfactorydiscs.com. Make sure you head on over there and pick up some gear.
So, Brian, we're walking down the fairway here on 4. How long is the drop zone away from the basket? And in your opinion, is it really something these guys are going to go for?
I think it would be straight up foolish to go for it from the drop zone, frankly. OB's right behind it. It's about, 80 feet. Yeah, 4 is likely for both these guys.
Thank you, Brian. See Burr just at the circle 2 whisker, the back edge of circle 2. So this is almost exactly 66, maybe 68 feet.
And it was a pretty green light for Burr. The OB is behind the pin. It's not that close. You can see he's disappointed. But from 66-ish feet, that was a great effort. Okay, so AB just laying it up.
Yeah, no question whatsoever as to running at it. I expect Taylor to do the same in terms of laying it up.
This is exactly what Luke didn't need after that short par putt on the previous hole missed. To have to basically just accept yet another bogey when guys are going 4 for 4 is disappointing.
About 3 inches short for Wysocki.
I think that's an okay par. I mean, he's disappointed with the missed putt, but could have been a lot worse there for Rick. And the reason I say that is because on that hole with Ricky, if you go OB, you're forced to go to a drop zone that's way back to where you almost can't even get to the pin. So I think very fortunate for Ricky there to kick inbounds and still have a look for birdie. So, a couple of birdie putts, now just tap-ins for bogeys. Do come to a hole where power is an advantage. We'll see if AB can take advantage on hole 5.
Birdie look for Macbeth. And that one on the mark. Lazat on the tee of 6. Needs a roll, and he's going to get it right to the pin. Lizotte in position, short range birdie look.
Just a few feet from disaster, because if you don't come back in on that right side, you're left so far back, and it's not an easy layup. Simon riding that edge and winning today. If you're looking out there, straight out there, you kind of see these levels. These are golf tees. And that second one that's right there, the buckets is flying towards, is pretty good. If you can get ahead of that, you're doing fine. Probably playing for par from there. If you can get all the way up to the next one, that's where you can try to get aggressive and take birdie.
Yeah, and I heard so many players talking about just playing this hole for par from the get-go, not even being able to get in position. And someone like Silver Lat I was talking to a few days ago, and he said, yeah, I'm chipping to here, I'm chipping up, I'm playing over.
Yeah.
This hole is meant for just a few of our most elite throwers.
And from a spot like where Isaac is, he's going to probably, just like you said, throw about 100-foot up shot.
The birdie for Lizotte.
Now let's see. AB, it is a green light because it's a pretty wide fairway as far as out of bounds is concerned. Let's see if he can get all the way up to that top level. Oh, yeah, he can. Almost past it. That small one that he just flew to the left of is that upper level.
Macbeth and company heading into the back nine. Good tee shot off the 10th. Now with Lizotte.
Hole 7 playing as the second easiest hole today.
Not for Simon.
Oh, what a mistake from Simon.
Yeah, you saw him frustrated immediately after releasing it.
And he's going to go to a drop zone that is an instant 4 at best.
We'll see what happens with Ricky Wysocki in 60 seconds. We'll be right back.
If you want to know what a disc is going to feel like before you get it, you have to check out OTB Disc. The first thing I'm looking for when I grab a new disc is the feel of the disc. It's got to be confidence instilled. Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
It's really, really helpful in not only finding a disc that looks beautiful, but is also exactly what you're looking for it to feel like. Of course, when you're dealing with OTB, you're going to get only the best.
Second shot by Anthony Barella.
He's going to try to do exactly what Simon did. And he does it even better.
Yeah, reserved only for people like Simon Lizotte and Anthony Barella.
Because the reality is that you have to be this far up the fairway to even attempt it. You saw in the picture-in-picture during our break, everybody laid up to this gap. And AB able to just spike it over the top. What a great shot. You can see Ricky frustrated.
Yeah, he had gone out of bounds, so throwing his third shot here.
And he lost a lot of distance. Look at how far the basket is away. Remember, this is a 908-foot par 4. Ricky is still throwing downhill, quote unquote, at this point.
Oh, this could be trouble unless it hooks up late, and it looks like it's going. No, it's not.
No.
Like an anti-skip.
I don't think it hit the line either, but I do think he crossed in up that way, but it did not come back in bounds as it landed.
That'll
Ricky,
be an interesting conversation
yeah,
in that group,
he's
right?
Looking at a bigger number here. It's already a difficult hole. This is just what you want to avoid on a day like today is any big numbers. You can accept a bogey, but a big number is, as these guys are kind of racing through this course.
Simon's going to give this a bid, and he hits the wow, grabbing some metal.
That is amazing that he's even thinking of going for this and
this
giving it a great run.
Somewhere between, what, 75, 80 feet? Somewhere in that neighborhood?
No
Downhill?
question. No question. And he missed it on the perfect side. Just that left side, he, not worried about the roll away. Guys, trick shot wizard for a reason. Rare forehand from Isaac.
And it answers any questions as to if he, when he needs it, can he pull one out? And there you go.
I like the look of it. This is going to be short. Should stay in, yeah. It's hard to tell from the camera, but this is about a 30% or 30-degree slope that they're throwing into.
Oh, this is leaking left.
That's why when you see the discs land, they're kind of not doing anything because they're throwing into the side of a hill.
It's really a textbook par, which so many of these players have written down in their notes. You're playing this hole for par.
75% of the field took par today.
Okay. And then very few with this opportunity that we're seeing from Barella. And you asked just before they teed off, will AB be able to take advantage of his distance on this particular hole? There's your answer. He nets the birdie.
And that's how he can swing the momentum back the other direction. Hey, come on. Luke Taylor doing the same. That was for birdie.
So even better than what we saw from Barella.
Hey, hats off to Luke Taylor.
That's a way to bounce back. And, in fact, yeah, this is his second shot, so we're going to go back in time a moment and give it to you.
I mean, this is an even better tee shot than Barella. More to the right, anyways, about similar distance. And what a great shot. That's a nice job at swinging the momentum back the other direction on a very difficult hole that only 12 people birdied today. And to sort of erase the memory of the last two holes.
And just think, we saw 3 of the 12 here on the live coverage. That's why you guys are here taking it all in. Big thanks to our friends at Ivy Hill. I believe they are the supporters of the live broadcast being on YouTube today. So appreciate the hospitality and everything about being here on site, as well as all of you guys joining us on YouTube and the Disc Golf Network.
Look, that was a great view of the slope. want to shake the hand of the guy that mows that slope. I was thinking to ride a mower on that hillside. Not for nothing. They know how to mow a lawn out here at Ivy Hill. That's the mistake you don't make. Did you see how it grabbed the grass?
Brian, it looks OB. Did you see any flags? That looks OB from our angle, though, for Barella.
Yeah, that is not looking good, Terry, unfortunately.
And when it came in, the difference between him and Simon on the previous group is that his was really skipping, and Barella's did not skip at all. And that's immediately OB for Taylor. You know, obviously we're only seeing a couple groups play this hole, but I would probably say that a significant number of players went OB left.
Yeah, that's the miss to make.
Yeah,
if you're going to miss, right?
Exactly, because the shot that's going to be upcoming for AB, and we saw a couple guys in practice doing this, is very touchy, and it brings OB in again from that far back. As long as you go OB left or long, you can save the par.
This is trouble for Joey, and he's also out of bounds, way back.
These are significant mistakes because they don't guarantee even a 4.
And this is pushing left. Does it get down? And the answer is yes. So inbounds for Robinson. Huge opportunity to make up some strokes on a couple of his card mates.
Brian, with these guys going out of bounds this short, how difficult is this next shot? It's so touchy and so much OB by the basket.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. And there's going to be risk reward unless you're, 15, 20 feet from the basket. I mean, you hit metal and hit edge. It's more certain that you're going to roll away than not. It's steeper the farther behind the basket you get. So we'll see what they do here.
Speaking of slopes.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy. This could be OB. It could be OB. It's got to turn up. Turn up. Turn up.
Are you? Oh, it's going to be safe.
Oh, my goodness.
And how does that happen?
And
clearly leaning over the inbounds line.
That could have stayed in so many ways, and it's ended up being in bounds. But the way that it stayed in bounds, we got to see a replay of that. That was nuts. He could easily roll away again.
Or more likely, he could jam it in the center, right?
Yes.
That's the beauty of Gannonbur's putting. This is for par. That was more tentative.
Yeah, a lot more tentative. And boy, I mean, watch this. This is one of the spots where the rope is actually above the ground. And funny enough, I think his disc rode it. I mean, you could see how it hit the line and the post.
That's wild. Frustration coming from Gannon. He put up a good putt that had a very awkward roll. I don't know that there's a lot he can change. Obviously, he's trying to, make it, but that's just an unfortunate break, too.
Yeah, unfortunate and then fortunate, right? I mean, a
little
bit of both.
So here's the difficulty you were just talking about. That has good speed, checks up, and Joey should be able to escape now with the bogey. But this is more difficult than most people probably realize.
100%.
Doesn't want this to pop up.
That's too. It's so floaty. Spotter's looking.
Oh no, this. Okay, it does sit down. As he said, that would have been an incredible save. We take another look. He's going into rally cap mode. He's gone backwards hat, sunglasses on, just trying to change things up.
I mean, it
and
just goes
I can
to show
appreciate
you
it.
the pressure of the lead card at the World Championship, even in round number 2, is so ramped up.
And right there for the birdie, Robinson picking up strokes on everyone else on the card. He's going to extend his lead with that.
I really like the way that Joey Buckets threw his third shot here. He really committed to it. Nice flat spin. The difference between his and Barella's is that Barella's was floaty. And Barella was almost OB. I mean, by inches. So, you know, I think it's just a great example of how difficult that shot really was.
Macbeth with a birdie look. And somehow that one sits down for him, though. Just low. Again for Macbeth. Lizotte.
Lizotte's tee shot was only about 80 feet behind where Gannon threw his second. I'm wondering if Gannon hit the branch of the tree coming off the tee. Either way, I guess we won't really know. But interesting stuff. Here's Macbeth on hole 11. Very nice. It's all downhill. There's hazard short and bunker long over there on 11.
I'm still calling for an ace here on 7. Somebody give it to me. Yeah. Oh, Robinson. Within a few feet of dunking that one in. And thanks to our friends at Innova, there is an ace bounty out here on this course all week long. $500 to any ace collected, all thanks to our friends at Innova. I'll be gracious and do what everyone else should do. I'll throw $5 on top of that.
Yeah.
If I see it.
Well, I mean, if it's on coverage, you do owe that 5. This could be long. Yep. That's a huge mistake by Barella. I mean, he has so much power. He could just throw his most overstable disc. And now he's going to go to that drop zone, and if he does risk going for it, like we saw from Simon, he could roll away. Big mistakes here in the second round. And Isaac Robinson is pushing the score lower and lower under par.
And a green flag for Burr.
You got to imagine he probably hit in the hazard short and bounced forward into the inbounds. It's very difficult to see from here, but they're throwing over hazard. All this tall grass is hazard.
Slower speed coming from Wysocki. And off the hay bales.
So good.
Give it to us, Joey. Oh, and just short. Anderson with a tap-in birdie coming up on the 7th. Hammets had the birdie on 7, looking for a birdie on 8. Gets both of them. Robinson out in front by 3. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When I walk up to a shot, I'm looking for the target. I'm looking at obstacles around the target, specific landing zones, looking at the height. Knowing all of that, I'm able to shape a shot. I don't want to think, did I get the right shot? Did I get the right distance? Like, that's it, I got it. Confidence is everything, and the Edge Disc Golf Rangefinder gives me exactly that.
We're tough.
Yeah.
And we love the outdoors, right? But poison ivy's nasty, even for tough guys like us. So we use Zanfel.
Zanfel works fast and washes away the itch.
Zanfel neutralizes toxins and washes them from your skin. In seconds, the itch is gone. Healing begins.
When you get poison ivy, get Zanfel. It works. Immediate relief, and we're right back to being tough, right?
Right.
Got poison ivy, get Zanfel.
It works.
The X-Step Pro Tee Pad from Disc Concepts is the ultimate surface for making the most out of your drives.
I first played on the X-Step Pro Tee Pads last season at USDGC, and it quickly became my favorite tee pad. They're super grippy, very consistent, and they handle the weather great.
These low-profile turf pads are manufactured in the United States and provide unparalleled grip, durability, and consistency. Visit discconcepts.net online today.
The FAR Ultiworld Disc Golf Fandom Survey is now open. Now in its third year, the survey has expanded and is being run by the team at First Available Research. This is your chance to share your opinions as a member of our awesome disc golf community with questions about players, media, discs, and so much more. Results from the survey will be published in Ultiworld Disc Golf this off-season. The survey is only open for a limited time, so scan the QR code or go to discgolfsurvey.com to take it now and let your voice be heard.
Already looking into 2025. We have options on the season passes, and I was told just last night by the Disc Golf Pro Tour CEO Jeff Spring, he said these prices will not be around later on in the year. So now is the time to jump on it. dgpt.com/tickets. See your various options with the gold, silver, and bronze season passes. Go out and pick one of those up today. I said it yesterday. Buy it now, print it out, wrap it in a really big box, and then give it to somebody possibly for Christmas or any other holiday. Thanksgiving's a good time of year as well. Luke Taylor in for the birdie, going just deep at the pin.
Robinson continuing to make birdies, and you know, last two holes, AB just making execution errors. Really, you know, he had flipped the momentum, got the big birdie on 5, but
he got his pitch up.
You know, you just don't go OB short on 6, and you don't go OB long on 7.
This is a birdie look for Wysocki.
Give it to him. Big putt from Ricky.
All right.
Gonna roll the Zuka replay.
I mean, yesterday he wanted to activate those Raptor legs so many times, but this one's not quite Raptor distance, but boy, what a great putt from Rick. Very confident.
use promo code WORLDS24. Go out and get yourself 15% off.
So great look here. You can see the tree way up the fairway kind of sitting by itself. There's the OB line kind of pinches in right at that point. That could, nope, that's going to be in bounds. It's a pretty wide landing zone as long as you don't get that high on the hill. And again, just throwing it out there with Gannon Burr, I think he may have hit this initial tree on his tee shot. That's why he was so short and then forced to lay up from there. But as we come up the hill here, you can see in the picture, or bottom left-hand corner, it really pinches in by this tree and then widens back out up by the green.
Hold it. Hold it. Yeah.
Uphill the entire way here on hole number 8. 671 feet, plays about 800.
There you go.
It's another spot where Barella can take advantage of his power. He can try to get a little bit higher on the hill, making the second shot a little bit easier. A bit conservative there for Barella, but he can still utilize the power on the next shot, I think. Try to get all the way back to the basket.
Lazat's second on hole 9.
This is tracking nicely.
And inside the circle for Simon. Macbeth, tee shot at 12.
This is the green that we saw Ricky make that big putt on.
That's going toward the OB, and it's going to go. So he'll at least have a relatively short putt, and I believe that plays as typical OB. Or standard, is that correct?
No.
No, you do go to a drop zone there?
There's a drop zone that's
All right.
a long ways away from the basket.
So Hammis having no problem getting to the pin.
That's a big mistake for Paul. I mean, any shot that goes OB goes to the drop zone. The drop zone is down on the right. You can see it.
Well, Gannon not worried about a roll away there.
Under closer inspection, and this is interesting. And we'll talk about it maybe when of course our lead cards get up there, but the way the rules right on that hole, it says players may proceed to optional drop zone.
Okay.
So that means if you're short and you never come in bounds, you can actually go forward. And then if you cross in bounds, maybe traditional rules, but they do not say it explicitly, at least in the caddy book. So we'll talk about that when we see what Macbeth gets up there.
Great second shot.
There he is. Yep, there he is. So it's that must be what it is, Terry. Just the way it's worded, it says you may proceed to the drop zone, and indicating that if you were short and never crossed inbounds, that you can go forward to the drop zone.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little confusing even looking at the caddy book that we have up on screen on our right here in the booth as we're watching Barella. Laurie Lettinen makes one from way deep.
Let him in.
That's going to be for
Here's
a
your dad
par.
joke, Terry. A putt.
As we roll the Zucker replay. That comes in safe of the OB, but he's at least thinking about it for a moment, wondering if that one got away from him. And Lazat capitalizes on the birdie luck.
Man, I just got to throw out Evan Smith sitting in second place. He's 8 down. He's played 13 holes. He's doing some good stuff. Good work back there. That's some good work. Bullseye for the leader of the tournament. There's just something about the way Isaac's throwing his discs, Terry. It was evident yesterday on the very first hole, and it was evident today on the very first hole. Yeah. He is just striping and just it's like a rocket out of his hands every single time. And it's been very consistent.
His dad on the bag, as I'm sure he will be all week.
Just think, he's the farthest one up the fairway, and he's got a fantastic angle, and then he puts it in the bullseye.
Golf looks easy right now if you're Isaac Robinson.
It really does.
Hammis for what I believe is his third in a row. Putting something together. Caddy life this weekend, a little bit more difficult than normal. I'll say that. And we saw a number of players posting just before this event started, said, hey, I'm really looking for a caddy this weekend, as we know that they're going to be out at Ivy Hill for 3 of the rounds. And Taylor, high right side chain, not enough.
Yeah, these caddies are going to be earning an extra ice cream sandwich after each one of the Ivy Hill rounds, that's for sure. Not a must make, but I think a big point here for Barella.
Well, it's playing as the 6th easiest hole on the course. And you think someone like Barella, again, with all of his power, should be able to make pretty light work of a hole like that.
Yeah, and after bogeying the previous 2 holes, if he were to miss that putt, it would have felt like 3 bogeys in a row. And then where does that put you? So a nice putt there for Barella, sort of getting himself back on track. Buckets, playing good.
Robinson collecting another birdie. It's going to push him to 6 under through 8. I believe that was the exact pace he was on yesterday. 6 under through the first 8 holes.
Yeah, and I think Isaac's proving that he is, you know, great in the woods as well as in the open. He's not a one-trick pony. Yeah, he doesn't have that big sidearm that we see. But you don't become world champion if you don't have every aspect of the game figured out. Yeah, he doesn't have the great sidearm, but he is a tremendous turnover player and hyzer flip. And clearly he has great power as well.
And this year, similar to last year, a test on 2 very different styles of courses. Just basing hole 17, and then ultimately the tap in. His brother Ezra coming over to celebrate with him. Ezra also having a great year, coming off a couple of back-to-back runner-up podium finishes in recent tournaments, and Well, Isaac saying, hey, I'm ready to prove I'm the better brother out on the course right now. Lazat on the 10th.
Simon's just going to try to ride the right side out of bounds line and bring it back in. There's a bunker like halfway down the fairway, which he just got around. And as long as this kind of sits down just in the middle of the fairway, he'll be okay. This is getting a lot of extra distance, though, Terry. And it is potentially going to go out of bounds.
It's going to need to check up, and it doesn't.
That just goes to show you how steep it is. All that being said, he's way down there and should have a really decent chance at saving par. I want to just mention here on 9, I was talking about, you know, that shot from Ricky where he was maybe going to be OB. This is also one of those situations where he may proceed to the drop zone. And I'm guessing that's the same thing here on 13. So he's going to proceed to a drop zone as he never came back in bounds. Hole 9, one of those kind of just position plays off the tee. You're not looking for any more than what Joey Buckets just did. That is perfect for his game plan. Seems very confident. Got to sit.
And checks up just short of the OB line. Can't get much closer than that and stay in bounds. So Burr from the drop zone.
Yeah, 13 is the longest carry to get inbounds. And another one that's leaning.
Freaking joking.
That is going to be a crazy call from there. It was tough to tell. It looks like he might be leaning over enough to be in bounds, but they'll have to have that conversation when they get closer. The odds of having 2 different shots lean up against out-of-bounds post in one round, I can't imagine what that is.
It's not astronomical thinking that there's like 10 miles of OB string out here, but it's not easy to do, that's for sure. Paul really digging deep and going low here. Great shot.
I'll have to double check my notes, but I think I heard something like 1,200 white posts are out here on the property or are part of the event. One of the two. I heard that in a meeting earlier this week, something in that neighborhood of 1,200 white posts in play.
And I will say they did a tremendous job. You can clearly see where all the OB is. They did a really great job. Simon going to the spike. I mean, you got to figure the disc went about 600 feet. The hole's 900.
Frustration coming from Barella. He's going to push to that left side. He's going to be in bounds, but as you can see, just at circle's edge, he'll be left with about 34, maybe 35 feet for the birdie look.
The last 2 shots, the tee shot and that shot, were commitment issues. He went short left, almost OB off the tee, and then short left there as well. He might get away with a birdie. He's just at the edge of the circle. That would be a huge steal for AB. Looks cool and calm under those shades, but I can tell you there's a lot going on, and a big mistake here from Isaac.
Big mistake being really his first and only mistake so far.
There's the disc, Terry. It looks inbounds to me. Not by much.
Wow. Unbelievable. Gannon Burr is going to save par from outside of circle 2. You see the whisker.
Kaboom!
Uphill, dead center. Burr for par.
Unbelievable. What a great putt.
Saki's birdie splashes out.
Just that little uphill slope where his foot was. Ricky just didn't get enough speed. Great line. Just off that front rim.
And Macbeth will collect the birdie. Taylor throwing his second.
Oh, I like the line of this.
As does Taylor. Birdie coming up on the 9th for him.
Great commitment there. Trust in the disc. It's a chance for Buckets to pick up a stroke on the leader.
Well, it's just a fade right to the pin. Short, but certainly makeable.
Yeah, he's going to be dealing with that same little slope that Ricky was just dealing with. Like, his foot will be, a little bit of an issue on that putt, I think.
And Hamas has 3 consecutive birdies in his pocket right now, going for his 4th. And that looks good. We'll see if the putter continues.
That's a picture-perfect tee shot by Hamas. He's right in the middle of the fairway and about even with the basket. Now the lie for the birdie.
That's 4 in a row for Hamas.
There you go, Paul.
We're here on the infamous 14th. I'm sure you guys have seen the green on social media so far. One of the most steep greens in the history of disc golf. That's not on a mountain course, I should say.
Yeah.
All right, can AB steal the birdie here?
Yesterday in watching him play, you had no doubt that was going in, and he had a look of that similar nature yesterday. It was, you could count it. Today, not the case. To avoid bogey, yes, Robinson saves the par.
He wasn't so sure about it when he let it go. It was a little high. Dropped right in. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I mean, AB looks so, cool and calm under those glasses, but I guarantee you there's a lot going through that mind. And, it's not a worry at the moment, but definitely is something, topic of conversation. And you can see this, just the way Bucket's foot is here, just having to be so tilted.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right on the pole.
What a good putt.
Back with Hamas on the 11th. Standing there with anticipation as it jumps over, and does it check up and stay in? It looks like it does.
Yeah, earlier in the picture-in-picture, we saw for the first time that there is hay bales short of this basket. Gotta just get over them if you can, but this one bounced short and popped over. We got to assume that's the same thing that happened to Gannon Burr in the previous group. It's an 850-foot par 4 that Paul is on purpose playing for par. He'll have a very difficult layup to that green.
Good control by Lizotte. He'll be putting back toward the pin. Burr with his second.
And the only way anybody's going to go for the putt on 14 is, well, I guess maybe if you're Gannon Burr. But also, you're going to want to, if you're going to want to go for the putt, you're going to want to be across the cart path, up by the green. The cart path is not out of bounds. And you're going to want to be really aggressive. Ricky is not going to get that close. I think that'll still be layup zone for Ricky. Look at Chandler Fry, 8 down through 16 holes, up 22 spots. And Calvin Heimburg, 9 down through 15. Could this be the year for Calvin Heimburg? So close so many times.
We saw what he did on the front. Great start, getting 7 of the first 9. And slowed down just for a little bit, but then 3 consecutive birdies, 13, 14, and 15.
I look at that OB at just 1 through 15 holes for Calvin. Well, here we are on hole 10. We've seen it played a couple of times already. Big downhill tee shot. And there's that golf bunker I was talking about. Not really an issue for these guys, but they use it as a landmark. You want to ride the right side OB line and swing it back into the fairway. If you're too far left, this slope right here takes you far left and potentially out of bounds. And then you can see this is now the lowest part of the fairway, and then it slopes all the way back up to the top of the basket, or to the top of the hill where the basket's located. They're not really worried about going too far long. It's just you want to put a good tee shot here is going to give you a good chance to make birdie. 38% of the field have taken birdie here today. And that's exactly what Joey has done. This is very similar to what happened with Simon. I think that's going to be OB.
It's coming back in. Oh.
And still going, might go OB again. It might go OB again.
No, it's going to fall over in bounds.
Unreal. And he has no idea that happened. No clue. He'll have to watch that one back. Oh. It goes to show you here on 10. I mean, even with a really good tee shot, there's Mother Nature and the slope can take over. That's way too straight for Luke. He's going to be OB. I wonder if that's Luke trying to adjust for some of those rollaways, trying to throw something a little straighter that's not going to skip so much and just misfiring too far to the right.
Where this one will stop, no one knows.
This looks, hit it. Oh, boy.
And that one will not come back. Robinson will be out of bounds.
You know, similar to what's happened to Simon, he's way down the fairway with a great chance at making par. This is unreal, Terry. This is unreal. That's got the proper ankle on it, but he might go OB right.
That's where it's heading, but now it's going to come back. Not enough. I don't think that's going to have enough to get back over, and it doesn't. So AB out of bounds.
Well, we've seen 4 rollers, unintentional, of course, here on 10, and the most insane was Joey Buckets. In fact, he was the only one to stay in bounds of all of the rollaways. Out of bounds, back in.
This might officially take the title away from Sarah Hokum as one of the longest rollers on.
Time-wise?
Yes. We saw her. No small coincidence. It was at the Toboggan, of course, one of the most hilly courses we see on tour. And Joey Buckets may have just earned that new title.
So, and my one putter throw was perfect. So I was like, oh, I'm just
Macbeth. You wanted to say just laying up, which he is, but it's the attempt to lay up.
Yeah.
And it appears to be successful.
And what he's going to want to try to do is match the slope with his disc so that it can kind of just sit. Any angles, big rollaway chances.
A little extra speed it looked like on Lizotte to jam that one home.
Yeah,
Lizotte just one par on his scorecard today.
I mean, super confident because had he missed the basket, he would have been in the hazard. Let's see if Burr can. Like I said, he's going for it.
That one sits down. Tell me how that makes sense.
Of all of them.
Hammes. Oh, that would have been 5 in a row. And he's probably hearing some of the crowd in the gallery from the hole behind him.
Yeah, he's certainly getting razzed from all those rollers that were happening. I'm learning, though, Gannon Burr's not afraid of anything. I mean, seriously. Ricky, who was even closer, he knew to lay that up. Gannon really willing to take the risk. Not going to question Gannon whatsoever. I like his commitment. Willing to live and die with that aggressive play.
I want to throw it out to Brian for a moment. Brian, did these players have any idea? I'm not sure if you were close to them or not, but did they have any idea of these rollaways and what was happening? And it looks like they're moving on down the fairway. Everyone's going to have to talk about where they were last inbounds. Thankfully, we've got some spotters down there.
Yeah, I mean, this is there's probably not even a conversation because they just can't see it. It's definitely spotter related for sure here.
Great shot, Isaac.
If you put it down this far, it's a pretty simple shot. Just due to the slope, they can really, that's going to eat up all the speed. Put it right on line. I expect in that range of 9 times out of 10, they'd get up and down from these positions. Although AB is going to have a little bit more of a putt than he would like. With that side slope, it's not an easy putt. If you're going to be short, you'd like to be directly under the pin so that you're putting straight uphill, which is a little bit easier than that hard sloping side slope.
Zod off the tee of 12. Needs to slow down. And instead just deep. We'll see if he gets the call. It looks OB, and spotter confirms as much. Just barely, though.
Yeah,
That'll
we
be a
now
short
know.
putt for par.
Yeah, he's going to get to take it down there, right?
Macbeth pushing to that right side, but it looks like he's going to be safe. There's Hazard off to the left. Not a concern, though, for Hammes.
Look at how scary this slope is, and especially on the side hill. Anything off the right side of the basket. Uh-oh. Wow.
It sits.
Lucky. God, just the... Uh-oh. This is gone. This is gone. Stays in bounds, though.
Yeah, it does stay in bounds.
But
I was going to say, had it gone out of bounds, he maybe would have just reputted from where
Correct.
he was, and it may have been ultimately probably the same result. But
I mean, but he's forced to lay up here.
yeah,
It's 60 feet out.
oh,
I mean, this is where you start to be concerned with Barella's attitude. You know, because, again, this course can get at you. He just threw what he felt like was a really good tee shot. It ends up OB. And he's going to go on to make double with the rollaway.
nice and steady for Joey Buckets. Joey just has one par on the day. That was hole 5, which most players are playing for. He has now 2 sets of 4 birdies in a row. He got the first 4, and he's got now the last 4.
That's going to make 5 bogey strokes so far through 10 holes for Anthony Barella.
Hammes with his 5th birdie in 6 holes.
That's really good work by Paul Macbeth. I mean, if he wants to get aggressive, he can go for eagle. And that heat that we saw in the putt from the last hole, Terry, he had that exact same amount of heat here, and it popped straight back out at him. That's going to be a bogey for Simon. It's getting interesting, Terry. Look at that. Kevin Jones played 17 holes. He's 8 under. He's up 23 spots. Lazat just had the struggles on the previous hole. A lot of good names bubbling up.
I don't know if that's genuine enthusiasm, but at least Simon's gonna force the smile, give us the entertainment.
Man, when you got 2 kids wearing diapers, I think a missed putt's not your biggest concern.
Let's see what he can do off the tee of 13.
He's got plenty of power on this carry. Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yeah, he's gonna be happy with that.
So, Brian, we played 10 holes, and it seems like we've gone up and down about 4 times. How is it out there, and how difficult is the walk at this course?
Yeah, it's definitely tiring, and the players are feeling it. AB looks just completely dejected right now. Isaac looks like he's still kind of playing like a world champion, and yeah, I don't know. These 3 rounds that we play here are definitely going to be an adventure, especially watching the players adapt over the next 3 days. Luke has really been impressing me today as well. Just really simple textbook mechanics with the backhand. Nicely done. Saw him late last night throwing approach shots back and forth the practice field with Cole Redolin. Putting the work in.
Appreciate it, Brian, and just thinking about the overall demeanor that he has to, kind of exude out here, knowing he's seen some struggles, throwing good shots, but then sometimes just not getting fully rewarded. And just how do you maintain that composure on such a big stage as Anthony Barella parks it?
I know it seems obvious that a park job is a good thing, but that's exactly what AB needed in this moment. As Brian said, he looked completely dejected. And this is something that should make him smile. This is an absolute park job. He's put it in the hay bales, nothing to think about. And this is his opportunity to turn this round around. The World Championship comes down to the little things, these little moments. Staying positive, not letting your emotions take over. It's a great opportunity for AB to do that.
Significant other, Grace on the bag. Wysocki with his 3rd shot on the par 5.
Wow, gets right through those 2 trees. Yeah, it's one of those things, Terry. We're watching, obviously, these guys play here at Ivy Hill, and you have the challenge of the holes, but the challenge of the walk is the real deal. And come Saturday, Sunday, I mean, that's a big ask for these players. And, they're the best in the world. And they're playing one of the most difficult courses in the world. I think it's a great challenge across the board for everybody involved. I think Anderson's got to be a little defensive here.
You mean like that?
Well, what a putt. Joey Bucket's riding the momentum. Don't tell me this guy doesn't want to be world champion come Sunday evening. I mean, he did putt it defensive, but he putted it perfectly defensive. Nice and high. No chance of going out of bounds long behind the basket. Gave it a chance, and it went in.
rare miss from Isaac Robinson.
That miss is going to bring Joseph Anderson into a tie for the lead.
Luke connects. So everyone but Robinson will pick up the birdie here on 11. And as you said, that means we are all knotted up again, this time with Robinson and buckets.
4 strokes ahead of third place.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Anderson taking down Idlewild. Just so smooth, so calm, playing under great pressure, stepping up in the biggest of moments, and then almost with the walk-off throw-in on the final hole of the tournament. He didn't need it, but Joey putting on a show there, collecting his win. We've had 8 different winners in the 8 years at Idlewild. Many of them their first Pro Tour wins. Joey joins that category.
And you know, I've said it so many times. Look at his scorecard, just 1 par, the rest birdies. But I've said it many times. Winning, it lets you know that it's possible. And all of a sudden, you come out on the next Monday afterwards and you realize you can win. Great test here of Anderson's sidearm. It says 491 on the scorecard. Plays about that 400-foot mark. Maybe even a little less.
And that's going to be out of bounds. He'll have a chance to save par from very close, but well off the mark, out of his hand. Was Macbeth with his 3rd, so technically for eagle, but it looks like he's going to have a tap-in birdie. Now back with Hammes. Burr has a look for the birdie, and he converts.
What a shot from Taylor.
No putting required on the 12th.
It looks so pretty out of his hand. I mean, just absolute control on a string for Luke. Saw the sidearm from Hammes earlier. It's just committed to more being out over the out of bounds. And that's, oh boy.
Well, this is exactly what we were talking about earlier about proceeding to the drop zone.
Yeah.
And he'll have that option. That's going to be better than where he had landed anyway. That's out of bounds.
You know, you wonder how much the shot that we just saw from Buckets affected, you know, AB there, making sure that he was going to be far left, and he just misfired completely.
Well, we saw the backhand work out perfectly for Taylor. Let's see what Robinson's backhand can do.
Red flag.
And they're probably going to consult the caddy book, as we were talking about a few minutes ago, and see what AB's options are. So it is very understandable that for just a moment we were semi-confused as to how this gets played. Even our players are having to consult. And Wysocki is in for the birdie. It's a birdie look for Simon on the 13th.
And he's making some putts today, and even the last one was dead center. That just had so much heat, the basket couldn't take it. Here's Barella. That's not a great shot. He's going to have to make a putt for bogey. Yeah, the fold of the disc. The pressure of the World Championship. Still so early too, Terry. You know, this is a 5-round tournament.
Yeah, you know he's frustrated, thinking that he should just be eating this course up, and he's gotten off the rails. And we see Hammes.
That's not going to get back in bounds, or I mean, I should say, get to the inbounds, because again, this tee pad, as many of them are today, is out of bounds. So I'm sure Hammes will go to the drop zone.
Does Robinson have another circle 2 putt? This is to say par, and he does it.
Yeah, these are the small little building blocks. You know, these putts for par from OB. They're building blocks of confidence as the week goes on.
High right side chain, but it's enough.
Kind of erases the memory of the missed putt on the previous hole there.
Well, 35 feet or so for buckets, and he doesn't convert.
A little chess match happening between the two guys at the top. You know, AB's dealt with a lot of adversity throughout his career, but also this season, and he's still come out on top. This isn't the end of AB for the World Championship, but he definitely needs to try to find a positive mindset over the next hour and a half until we can finish here in round number 2.
Kevin Heimburg having a great round. This is his 3rd on the 18th on the par 5.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell from the camera angle, but this finishing slope up to this 18th green is extreme. Calvin's going to have to put a good pop on this.
8 under for his round today, and he may get back to 9. He just bogeyed on the previous hole on 17 to fall back to 8, but he can erase that with a birdie to close out his day, and that would be a 9 under effort. Hammes from the drop zone.
You cannot do that. That is the biggest. The fairway is so wide, Terry. It's at least 150 feet wide. And you know you can't get to the green. You got to put yourself inbounds. That's a big double whammy for Adam Hammes. Brian, we see Luke Taylor teeing off here on 13. What's the carry to get inbounds? Just, I mean, it looks big.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Austin Turner in practice. Obviously, him being a lefty, I walked up to him and on the tee and said, "What do you got to do here?" And he turns to me and said, "Only a 450-foot lefty sidearm, Brian. It's very simple." So for these righties, it's something similar. Obviously, the downhill makes it a little bit more achievable, but you got to blast this, and you have to get pretty intentional with your positioning. Got to stay right. Right side opens up a little bit more accessible angle. Nice shot here from Isaac. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Too far left and the ceiling gets pretty bad.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. We've seen even the shots that land on the right that the ceiling is a problem as you're heading back uphill to the basket. Macbeth earlier having to kind of play that little low, little air bounce shot. But step one, getting it inbounds here. This needs to work. This needs to work.
Barely gonna get there. And inbounds for Joey. I saw players practicing this hole, and actually a few of them can go all the way deep, as in going 2 straight.
Well, we saw that with Burr earlier. I mean, he went into those woods straight. And it's been impressive from the perspective of Barella restraining himself. It seems like he has a very good game plan. Today, it has just come down to execution. He just has not executed at the level that we're used to with AB this season.
Burr with his second. And Calvin, the birdie look on 18 to close out. This could get him to 9 under. And Heimburg officially with the course record at the moment, a 9 under for Calvin Heimburg. Also has moved up 16 positions as of right now. So a pair of bogeys on the scorecard, 11 birdies. Heimburg in the clubhouse with the hot round of 9 under.
Yeah, he's hoping he's at the top of the Innova Hot Rounds list today. Either way, this is great work for Calvin. Up 16 spots.
That's by Saki for birdie.
There's just a slow trickle of great players upward. I mean, Rick is now in the top 10. Gannon, with all his struggles, still in the top 10. Chris Dickerson, top 10. Macbeth, Lazat, Heimburg, Hammis, Buckets, Robinson, and Evan Smith is what makes up your top 10.
That's a par putt for Macbeth. Marweed has struggled to collect birdies today. Not exactly a course that I think he's excited about, just knowing the distance and power required. I wouldn't think that this is his favorite track out there. He has fallen off the pace considerably today. He's down to a tie for 24th. That is down 11 positions.
I mean, Marweed is one of our consistently best putters, and I'm wondering if he's looking at Burr going, why'd you go for that?
Uh-oh. Oh, and it's going to stay in bounds.
Wow.
Anderson gets away with one there.
Big time. That looked OB by a long shot. And it hit that little branch, and I wonder if it gave it just enough spin to keep it going forward.
AB going over the top? This is this a grenade?
It looks like it to me.
It is. And AB sticks it. You heard the thud.
And he's a little short. You can see the disc right there. It didn't go anywhere when it landed.
So just at circle's edge. It'll be in circle 2, about 34, 35 feet.
Man.
Left for AB and his birdie luck.
You know, you wonder how often does he practice in that kind of release? And to pull it out here in the World Championship, it's, it takes a lot of confidence. I mean, that's not an easy throw.
Well, you figure, playing out at Vista and Fountain Hills, all those trees, he's got to get around. That's right in his back pocket, right?
can just see how difficult it is to get it all the way back up as the slope kind of comes up to a little flat spot and then back up again to the basket as well. So our first look at the 17th, an island. Very tiny island. Bird sticks it.
High side of the hill, and that will be left for a double bogey for Hammes. So still danger.
That putt for Luke, make another birdie. You can see how Simon's trying to match the angle. Throwing that little turnover, that helps avoid any rollaways on that steep slope. Just got to be worried about the willow that's just left of the pin. Green flag. Oh, red flag. It was green, and then he went up with the red.
Another circle 2 birdie for Isaac Robinson.
Definitely that missed putt back on 11 is erased.
Anderson answers with a birdie putt of his own.
Last time we saw him do the step putt, he missed it left. See if he can make the adjustment here.
And the putters are looking great here on 13.
Yeah, they are. This is Luke looking for 3 birdies in a row.
Solid star frame here on the 13th. Hammes, the downhill. And that'll be in for the double bogey.
Yeah, it's interesting. Over the next few rounds out here, that might be the longest putt we see that's up on the green. Because a lot of times they're all within about 5-10 feet. That willow, those branches are hanging over water.
He needs it to just filter through it. It hits off the tree and then goes out of bounds.
Up there on 17, it's immediately to the drop zone, which is still short of the lake on any out-of-bounds tee shot. That's a huge drive from Simon. He might be able to get up there for eagle on the par 5.
Robinson with a 1-stroke lead over Joey Anderson.
Fantastic top 10. Chandler Fry again, 8 down for the day. KJ USA 8 down, and what a great second sheet here too.
Yeah, we're seeing that score by Raven Newsom that he posted earlier, the 8 under, moving him up 47 spots. Eagle McMahon comes out with a 6 under today. 2021 world champ. We saw a moment ago also a good day out there by James Conrad. Head to the 14th, which is the most difficult hole, averaging .35 over par, Nate.
Yeah, well, you can see you got to miss a few of these initial trees to even get in bounds. We saw that with Adam Hammis as you come around the corner. This is where a lot of the tee shots are going to end up. Good ones are just going to be about here. And then you can see the pin up there. But you really cannot go at the pin. And we're going to talk about what it's going to take to birdie this hole. It's going to be making a putt. And most of the players will lay up here into the part of the fairway just to the right here and then try to throw that little upshot. Taking par is just fine here on 14. Today, all we have is 4 birdies, one of them being Calvin Heimburg earlier from 48 feet as far as a putt. Just in bounds for Taylor. Yeah, it was Jake Hebenheimer, Thomas Gilbert, and Noah Meinsma, along with Calvin, to make birdie here. Got to hand it to Jake Hebenheimer. He was 14 feet away. All the other guys were circle 2.
Bookman!
Pushing to that right side OB line, but comes in safe.
Yeah, the players are really trying to wrap it around the corner. In an ideal world, you would be on the far left of the fairway because that opens up your angle for the next big hyzer, you know, going back up the hill. But obviously, just inbounds is great, irregardless of which side of the fairway you're on. And you can see how much that looks like it's way left. Got a lot of hyzer on it, and they're up against the right side OB line. If you want to be on the inside of the fairway, you have to try to be pretty aggressive and go on the inside of the center tree. Scary. But
Burr on the 18th.
yeah, we saw the park job from Burr. Previous hole. Tied for 3rd currently. This is why Gannon Burr he was the resounding favorite heading into the tournament. Not only has he had an unbelievable season, but what we've seen so far today, all the rollaways, all the frustration, he's 8 under for the round. He's almost tied for best hot round, and he's in tied for 3rd place. When you're good, you're good.
Still has that 100% C1X putting. Gannon ready to throw his 2nd shot on the 18th.
So you can kind of see, again, these slopes up to these flat spots. And so you're kind of looking at the first flat spot. That's kind of the short side of where they're trying to get to. And then you have the next one, which is going to be difficult to get to. That's a pretty big blast. But from there, the fairway turns hard right and goes up the hill where we saw earlier Calvin Heimburg throw his sidearm as a 3rd shot. Asking for it to get down. Oh, and it was so high, and it just floated down that slope. That's going to be a tough 3rd for Gannon.
Just outside of circle 2 for Barella. And you got to assume that's going to be just a loft right up to the pin, trying to get it to sit down and tap in for a par.
Here's what I'll say for Barella. He had so much power there that he is pin high. which means he's going to be looking straight at the slope. So the slope is going to be coming directly at him. That's the rare situation where he might have a green light even from outside circle 2. And with how today's gone, it's a potential that we see that.
You're saying he may be
going for it.
Yeah. Changing up the initial game plan.
Yeah.
And or trying to get a little more aggressive because now he feels like he has to start making something up.
I mean, look, he's 100 feet ahead of the blue disc, and then we just saw Isaac there. And look how he's even with the pin. So that means the slope's coming right at him. It's a little easier to try to go for a putt like that, but anything off the basket is an almost certain roll away. So he's going to have to weigh those options. This is one of those situations, Terry, where sometimes not being in an ideal position forces your hand to lay up.
Kind of makes the decision for you. Let's see what Taylor can do after having the long drive of the group.
Yeah, the kid's got sneaky power.
And he will be left with a decision to make because he's inside circle 2 looking straight up the hill.
Yeah, but so much of a different angle, right, with the side hill. I think that's a harder putt for Luke.
We've been talking about him throughout the day. This is Evan Smith. He's got a birdie look on the 18th. He's sitting tied for 3rd. Looks like he'll close out with a par. Here's Lizotte throwing his 2nd.
Yeah, I think this is Simon just position playing here. Just wants to get into a favorable position to try to go at the green in 3. Got up onto the top of that initial slope.
Yeah, that's in the territory of where you would see the FPO pin.
Yeah.
And now Evan is in for the par. Card mates with Antala. And Evan in 8 under, just 1 off of our hot round. Similar fashion to Kelvin Heimburg, picking up 2 bogeys. 91% C1X putting, just 1 putt that he missed.
Yep, you can see 2 OBs there. I think that's a pretty good number. You got to assume you're going to have at least 1. You know, really, even for the guys leading, they've both of them have gone OB. So I think overall, a fantastic day for Evan. I promise you, all these players are holding their breath until the disc is actually at rest.
Brian here on the green of 14. Is there anything you're picking up, any indicators of what we might see for aggression on this putting green?
Angry over there. I'm going to go like this.
Robinson going to pitch right next to the pin, and that one sits down.
Just, you know, AB has such a long jump putt, you know, as far as what he can execute. I mean, he could be 100 feet out and still jump.
I mean, you called it. He definitely was going for it, and he had the angle to do so.
Yeah.
And he's not punished in any way after the miss.
Nah, I think a smart move by him. I would have given him the green light to go for that. It's unlikely to make it. It's a big putt, but I think, you know, he had that light and he took it.
Closer, but different angle for Taylor. And it's gonna flop over and sit down for him.
I gotta mention too, it's not a smooth hillside. There's a lot of little rocks and little bumps that even if you throw a great upshot, there is still the chance of a rollaway.
Just a brief pause from Barella before putting in for birdie. We see these guys avoiding danger and playing this hole pretty well for the hardest, most difficult hole on the course relative to par. Our lead card escapes without any significant blow-ups or difficulties. Now, with Burr throwing his third on the 18th. Clips the branches, but still in position for birdie.
And, you know, we know how much power Gannon has. That was a full send. Just getting up to the edge of the circle.
And Lazat underneath the basket. That's going to be a tap in for him. Macbeth's third.
He's going to try to come in just inside that big one up there.
Oh, too high.
Oh, and he way yanked it.
So you'll have an open uphill putt from middle or deep end of circle 2.
I mean, you can go around that big one, but you can hear it in his voice. It was too high. He's got to try to get under those branches.
Hamas looking to collect birdie.
What a great second shot from Rick. He's way up there.
Yeah, this should be executed all day by Wysocki. Hangs it a little wide, but still very makeable, right around the circle's edge.
Yeah, so you can see you can go to either the inside or the outside of that big one. Still get up there.
What the heck?
That might be OB right.
That's exactly where it lands. Out of bounds for Taylor. Macbeth trying to close out with a birdie. Most misses we've seen from Macbeth have been low. This time uphill, he gives it enough power, in fact too much, and still a little left on the putt to close out.
Yeah, he's still got 20 feet left there. When we were out scouting this course, Terry, we caught up with the Finns, Antila and Makala, and they were laying that tee shot up just like we saw from Isaac. Gonna do work on the next couple of shots. See if Burr can finish with the birdie here. He's made almost everything so far today.
Still such an impressive round considering all the setbacks and the bad luck and a few of the rollaways that he had. Gannon Burr battling through it. Here's Anderson.
It's more aggressive. It's maybe going to roll off this side hill, and it's not going to.
Here we go. Good job.
When I initially saw the shot, standing at the tee, I thought, boy, I mean, everybody's going to be trying to get to the top of this initial flat spot. But those guys, those Finns, they told me, no, it's better to just play short and then go for a big shot on the next one because it widens out as you go up the hill. AB, though, huge.
Birdie look for Wysocki to close out.
So you're going to have Rick at 11, and if Macbeth makes this, he's at 11 as well. And, you know, it's a potential that they're, you know, in that 8 to 10 shots behind situation. And there's only 3 rounds left to play. So I think something special is going to have to come out of those 2 world champions right there. And Gannon, a couple strokes ahead of them.
Clean shot from Robinson.
Robinson's playing it the exact way that the Finns told us to. On the other hand, AB, he might be going for the green with that big tee shot that he had. The camera really doesn't do it justice here. It's so severe uphill as you get across the cart path and it starts to become dirt. It's very steep. In fact, I remember the cart having some issues pulling us up there.
Not exactly light work, if you know what I mean.
Not at all. Joey will have a couple options from there. You can go left or right. Kind of just depends on which one he's more confident with. I think the right side is overall a little safer.
Lazat currently tied for third at 14 under as he's teeing off on the 16th.
Going very aggressive, trying to go over the out of bounds. It's midway through this fairway. He's done that, but he has not stayed in bounds on the latter half of that fairway. So he'll be lying 2, throwing 3. Still have a chance to save par. And I was wondering if we are going to see some rollers here.
Turn. Come back in.
Looking for this to turn.
Go. Way to get out of here.
Go. Yeah! Oh, and it's going to get all the way back in. Good job on everyone staying out of the way there.
I love the design here from Nate Heinold. This is a really fun shot. And, you know, honestly, Hammes had some room to still lay it down more to the right, and he wouldn't have had to risk it so much. But that's perfect. Great chance to make birdie.
I'm just getting word now that that same disc is available in the Disc Golf Pro Tour Pro Shop. You can buy yourself a 10th season supporter box. It may come in the form of a putter, but I promise it'll roll just the same as what Adam Hammes just did. Head on over to dgpt.com/shop. Pick up a supporter box, just $100, and only 500 of them are available. I think it comes with a free lesson from Adam on how to get that roller to work with the limited edition putter. This is what production's telling me. I'm just passing along. And they have Simon listed as safe.
I think that's a mistake. I mean, didn't we see it go left of the cart path? We saw it left of the cart path.
May have to check back on the scorekeeping there.
Man, had AB missed that, he certainly would have had a look at the eagle. Still in great position, stayed inbounds. You could see his frustration because he knew had he just missed that, he'd be looking at eagle for sure. I mean, just think, this is a par 4, Terry. It's nearly 1,000 feet.
Oh, no.
How big that roller was from Adam, and he still has 440 left.
Yeah, he didn't love the release out of his hand. He'll have a look for the birdie. Isaac still out in front by 1 over Anderson. Lazat a few back, trying to close the gap. You know, we saw what felt like obviously these two in AB and Robinson coming out, having a little bit of a cushion. AB falling off today, but Robinson just charging forward, and Anderson right there say, hey, I want to hitch to your wagon and come along for it. I'm right here with you.
I thought you were trying to go wider.
So it's interesting, even hearing his dad ask him right now. I mean, that looked like a stock shot for Isaac, and he's still short. That just goes to show you how much slope is involved here up on the green. All right, so he's going to go with this nice wide hyzer. Got to really commit to this shot, especially from a standstill position.
Just like that. It's going to be a tap-in birdie. Excuse me, that will be for par.
Yeah, he was OB off the tee there. And, you know, looking at the final 4 holes here, this is the best chance to make birdie. 53% of the field have birdied here today on 15. As we go, it gets more and more difficult. 16, nearly impossible to birdie that one. Only about 15 players have done it today, and then you're in that 25 to 30% range on the final 2 holes. So this is a really good chance to get that birdie, and got to try to avoid bogeys on the final 3 holes. Critical final 4 holes here for Barella as well. I mean, he can utilize his power on 16 and 18.
Oh, wow.
Call this a little closer to 40 feet for Hammes. Downhill, you see the lightest of wind blowing from right to left. Not enough to even make the flag on the basket move. And he gets it. So Hammes, the roller, does ultimately pay off because he makes a solid putt.
Yeah,
We'll take another look.
Joins a small group. He's just the 16th man out of 100 today to birdie here on 16.
Another birdie for Robinson.
I mean, Hammes is 8 under with a double and a single. That's impressive play from Adam Hammes. A lot of birdies today.
Just 3 holes left in round 2 at the World Championships. We'll be right back.
I think the Black Hole Pro is the best practice basket I've ever had at home.
I think the Black Hole Pro is a great practice basket.
I think the Black Hole Pro is one of the best teaching tool putting baskets that there is.
What I love most about this basket is that it catches really well.
Its chains are very solid for catching. They have a good heft to them.
It's pretty lightweight. You can put it in the back of your car easily.
If you're looking for a great solution for a practice basket and you don't want to break the bank, Black Hole Pro.
Introducing the Birdie Derby, a ready-to-run tournament package from Prodigy Disc. It's the perfect 3-disc tournament to welcome new players and give experienced throwers something new to try. Learn more and host a derby today at discgolfderby.com.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
breakup hole. Y'all ready for this?
Girl, we're always ready. Yep. Sarah, have you tried this new True Athlete pre-workout? It's so good. Good food, good birdie.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Soup's up. What's even in there? It is birdies.
Disc Sport and Innova share the same values and understanding how the sport should grow.
Rene has always been a great partner of Innova. His vision of disc golf in Estonia and the Baltic region is exactly what we're looking for.
Our goal would be to grow the sport, grow the brand, so that eventually, in the long run, Innova will be #1 in Europe again.
Welcome back to the action. Adam Hammes on the tee of 17.
He's birdied 8 of the last 10.
Do it.
And safe. Looked like it was going to be OB.
I was right there with you on the call, but it appears to be safe. Here's Lizotte.
These are such touchy backhands. It's really difficult to get it to stop on the green. Got to hit that little upslope, and he's done it perfectly.
Bullseye hit for Lizotte.
That is perfect. You're going to see a lot of guys going to the sidearm, and the reason is because it's just easier to get it to die on the green. But that backhand worked out there beautifully for Simon, and what a statistic. Let's hope that it's not the commentator curse, but bogey free through the tournament so far. The only competitor in the field, Isaac Robinson. And he's going to lay it up. He's going to play this one for par. It's going to be, you know, it's interesting. I wonder if that strategy potentially changes as we get closer to Sunday. Obviously, if you need a birdie, you know, you might go for it, but
I think this hole, though, is similar to what we saw earlier in the round. There's just a couple of them out here where players are saying, I'm good with it. I'm okay if I get the par, and that's exactly what I'm going to play for, and it seems like that's Robinson's playbook there.
Yeah, you can see lower left-hand corner with now out of bounds on the flyover, and then it comes back in bounds, and then it's still over 500 feet. And AB, he's not going to have any problem getting to the green. He's definitely going to go for a sidearm, I would imagine, from there. But his good friend, Adam Hammes, who had a huge roller on the previous group, you see how AB put it down more to the right, and it never even got close to the OB left.
And not a full power shot coming out of Anderson either, and you can see him pretty much right there, right next to Robinson.
The latter half of hole 16 is pretty wide, the fairway. And you kind of can't, you know, if you're playing it short like we saw those two guys do, it's going to be a relatively easy par. And a crowd like that, that's over in the air for Luke.
Big hit. How much time, dude?
Is that the same nuke?
Yeah.
Hammes in for the birdie.
Birdie train keeps rolling for Adam. He's got a chance to birdie the final hole and get to 10 under par for the round. there. It'll just be a chip to the green. Kind of full power still here for Joey Buckets. Uh-oh. That's going to need some help. That's going to need some help. Not going to get it. Big mistake from Joey Buckets. If you're going to lay up, and I was just mentioning this while we saw Luke tee off, you can't imagine them taking bogeys, and this is one of the widest fairways, and this is just an execution mistake by Joey. He has 100 feet to the right of safe fairway.
Yeah, just pulled it too far wide. Got the skip, and then it hits ultimately off the OB marker there. Tough to tell if that would have possibly come back in bounds had that stake not been there. But like you said, he shouldn't be anywhere within 50 feet of that.
No. Low kind of smoking sidearm there, and that's going to go long OB for Taylor.
Taylor looking for some indicator and not sure if he's going to get it, and he doesn't have the vantage point that we did to see that has gone out of bounds.
It was just too low. I mean, this needs some height just to kind of swoop it in. And, you know, at this point, Barella's going to try to just throw a nice high sidearm and just get it to dive right at the pin.
He doesn't like it.
It's too low, Terry. These are too low. Immediately, as soon as I saw that it was that low out of his hand, there's almost no chance of it staying in bounds. I mean, that was close, obviously, but I think you need a lot more height on that. Just let it die at the pin. Spike it at the basket.
Hammes trying to get a closeout here on 18.
And for both Hammes and Lizotte, even bogeys keeps them on the lead card. That's how things have kind of spread out. Chase card right now is 3 13 unders and Barella at 12.
Yeah, to fully complete my thought, I was looking at Hammes if he's trying to get a solo position of the hot round.
Yeah.
He's pushing for 10 under if he converts.
And
wow, another one that's going to be right next to the OB. This time he'll be safe.
Yeah, it's interesting. Early in the day, we thought most certainly somebody would get to double digits.
That's where I had all my money. I expected multiple people to get there with what we saw early on, and Hammes may be in a very small club if he does it. Might be the president and a fan of that club.
That being said, I mean, you have Robinson, he's at 8. Buckets, he's at 8, although he's going to bogey at best. Just think AB's at 1 under and still inside the top 10.
Lizotte's second.
That needs some stability quickly.
Pulls it right and out of bounds.
And he's going to be, you know, having to do some good work to make par now.
Great recovery. AB with essentially the exact same look. Not much emotion shown there by AB.
Yeah, I think ultimately AB just knows that the day has been, you know, in his mind, kind of worthless. I mean, like I was just saying, he's now even on a course that lays out so well for him, and it's just been these execution issues. Great example was the second shot there on 16.
They'll head over, and the daunting 17th is up on the other side of the break.
I don't flex, I'm success. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. Flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex.
Got a good thing coming, and it's all I need. Everything I wanted is in front of me. It's a good, good. Good, good thing.
Pound's the best of the best. It's the quality, the craftsmanship, the vision for what a bag could be.
I don't think anyone's disputing that it's the best made bag.
$17. Robinson now with a 3-stroke lead. 2 holes left to play here in round number 2. This is drifting right, but it looks like it's going to find in bounds, and it does. It's not parked, but he's safe. Oh, little flex. What an interesting approach here from AB, but too much power. He's out of bounds by about 1.5 meters. And from there, he'll go to the drop zone. Saw the flex shot. Now we're seeing another different shot. This one coming as a forehand by Anderson. That's tracking right to the pin. And it sits down. Brian, talk to us about the strategy of what we're seeing here from this lead card.
I mean, that was a special shot from Joseph Anderson. You have to hit the brakes so hard on this hole. It really begs you to land something as soft as possible and throw a really slow disc, but Joseph liked the angle coming in from the left side. You have to just have so much touch on that flex shot if you want to come into the green with the driver. That was really special. What a shot.
Yeah, and you know, Brian, it's interesting to watch AB go with the backhand with a speedy disc, and it's almost he's trying to use that slope in front of the pin to stay close.
You know, you went over the bunch, whatever you want to do.
I'm just thinking about that hole on Sunday afternoon, Terry. That's the kind of stuff I dream about.
That's the kind of stuff I have nightmares about. So I guess it's all about perspective, as Lizotte is going to come up short, but still an opportunity to save the par.
Yeah, Simon got a good lie there, because he threw the turnover, so he got a lot of distance up the fairway. So not as challenging of a... Oh, boy, and almost a make for Hammes.
That would have been a way to get into the double-digit club
Seriously.
for Hammes. Almost the walk-off eagle. Adam Hammes in a tie for third along with Simon Lizotte. And not far behind Anderson at the moment. However, we're expecting Joey to pick up the birdie on the 17th. Calvin to 9 under. He's called it earlier, both Chandler Fry and Kevin Jones, big days, moving up more than 20 spots each.
It's going to need more wizard putt here. Back up the hill, a lot of slope.
To save par on the 18th.
Give it to him. He has putted so well through 2 days. Simon Lizotte is in it to win it. He'll be on our lead card tomorrow. That's a great up and down for Simon. And kind of figure on this guy's credentials, he's just missing a world championship. This could be the one for Simon Lizotte. Wow.
I don't think he's necessarily mad about that either.
No.
I mean, he's taking all risk out of play, possibly hitting that basket even on a rollaway if he does have to make a putt of any length or distance. Escaping with a par on 17 isn't the worst thing, especially when you're already sitting on the lead. And Adam Hammes just lighting up the back half. In fact, things got started on 7 there, and just the par on 11, the double. We saw some of the challenges. He went double OB on 14. That's how it resulted in the double bogey. But Adam Hammes keeping it together, and our first and only double-digit round as of right now.
Yeah, and Adam's such a streaky player, and he's at the moment still 3 back of the lead, but to overcome those mistakes, I think that's what it takes out here at Ivy.
Anderson will get one closer to our leader in Robinson. And our 36th hole of competition here, Nate. What do they have lined up for us?
Well, just your simple 1,078-foot par 5 with a ton of uphill to it. The tee shot's really all about just putting it in position. If you can put yourself just at the edge of the grass fairway here on your left, that's perfect. And then we start to talk about as it goes back up the hill. Earlier, I mentioned these 2 flat spots. You have this first one right here. You have the next one that's just above that. It takes something special to get to the one above that. Over here left is where we saw Gannon Burr, and that's a big slope down, and then it severely slopes back uphill. This is the tree we saw Macbeth and Ricky go left of right here, and as you go up the hill, it just tightens the OB around the pin. The guys aren't really worried about going long. Left and right can come into play, and from what we've seen, the left is actually a little bit more in play than the right side. And that landing zone I was talking about, I mean, you can see it from our camera angle. It's completely blind to the players. They really can't see that lower portion. And that's really an aggressive shot on the backhand side from Isaac.
We'll see how our leaders can close out on hole 18. All of that and more on the other side of the break.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Everything changes. Life changes. Seasons change. And your personal style changes too. Luckily, your Zuka can change with you. One frame, with a lifetime warranty, can stick with you through thick and thin. And if it's time for something new, just swap out your insert to match the new you. Match your style and let your Zuka grow with you.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
I'm here with my 2024 Team Series Proton Tesla. We have the Hummingbird. If you're looking for a straight, reliable fairway driver, the Tesla is an absolute staple in my bag, and I think anyone could use this on the course.
2025 around the corner, and you can start making plans now by picking up one of the season pass options: gold, silver, bronze, limited quantities of all of those. Tons of details out there on the website as to what that will get you. Some information there as well, but head on over to dgpt.com/tickets and pick up a season pass for 2025. I guarantee you this is the least expensive time you can purchase them is right now at these prices. So prepare, get in store for the action of 2025.
So with the tee shot of Anderson, it's going to be hard to get up to that second level, nearly impossible. I mean, really, that first flat would be a tremendous shot here for Joe.
And he's pulled it right, just as we saw from Lizotte.
Cut roll maybe.
Not enough. Big mistake by Anderson.
And he's not going to get the advantage that Simon did because Simon threw a turnover. I mean, Joey is going to be way at the bottom of this hill. And, again, nearly an impossible par. Should be over in that Gannon-Burr range, kind of down this big slope.
That Isaac Robinson, of course, has picked up a couple majors, but not yet the USDGC. He'll be vying for that a little later in October. You can head on over and pick up your passes for the USDGC as well. Some spectator passes at the best price available per ticket, and head on over to USDGC.com.
Yeah, especially that final day. You know, obviously you get to see the champion be crowned. You got the awesome distance contest over the lake. So much fun.
Yeah, their VIP passes are on sale right now. Just $89 for the entire week.
Buckets just makes to make sure he is in bounds, and he's done that. You don't want to compound mistakes. You know, he made the big mistake off the second shot. Just need to keep it in bounds, accept the bogey.
It's okay. Hey, let's get out here. Yeah, I know.
But really, you start to look at the shot that Isaac threw, and that's where you'd want to be. Low left, that's the miss.
And the man with the hot hand and the best round on the course is Adam Hammes. We caught up with him after his round. Here's what he had to say.
We're here now with Adam Hammes. Adam, course record at Worlds, 10 under par. Has that settled in yet? How does it feel?
Yeah, it settled in. I just looked at the scores and realized it was the only 10 or double-digit round of the day. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, I'm stoked.
Well, you know, going into today, did you have any expectations about even reaching double digits?
No, I just got off the phone with my dad right before my round, and he said, "What's your goal?" I said, "At least 6." So my goal was 6. Kind of got there pretty fast, and I just had to add as many as I could on top of that. So.
Well, talk about what you had to do to get that done today. It looks like you only made one circle 2 putt.
Yeah, I caught a good rhythm towards I think it was 7 through 13. I had a really good stretch of holes, and then I got to 14. I had a double bogey, and it set me back a little bit. And my caddy Peter just said, "Hey, let's just get the last 4," and that's exactly what I did. I didn't want to let off. I just want to play aggressive throughout the rest of the round and try to put up a hot score, and that's what I did.
Well, after playing Ivy Hill in competition, how do you feel about this property?
I think it's fantastic. This is a beautiful golf course. I know Chris and his family. I met them years ago. They're awesome. This is an amazing property. I think the elevation is what's special out here. We don't really see too many golf courses, maybe besides Goat Hill, that have this much elevation. But I think this place might be a little bit nicer than Goat Hill. So yeah, there's a couple bad holes, but for the majority, I love it. It's a really good golf course.
Well, what's it going to be like playing on the lead card at the World Championships at New London tomorrow?
It's going to feel great. It hasn't happened since 2017 when I watched Ricky win his second world title in Georgia. So it's going to be awesome.
All right, Adam. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. And one of his best friends in Anthony Barella now throwing his 3rd on the 18th. And that will get to pin high inside the circle.
That power is a huge advantage here. And, he took advantage. Got up to the green.
Just thinking about Adam really, breaking onto the scene during that 2017 Worlds, playing out there at WR Jackson, also over at the Fort course, and it was some long-range putting prowess. He was right there in the mix on that lead card. It was so great to see. He hails from the same state. I met him when he was just a teenager playing in Wisconsin, up in northern Wisconsin, played in some tournaments that I was even hosting as a tournament director. So watch his career and then have that moment in 2017, and now to be back here at the World setting a course record and going to find himself on a lead card. He's, of course, picked up a few Elite Series events throughout the last couple of years. It's incredible to see, and right now things are going well for Adam Hammes.
I talked so much about momentum at the World Championship, and for Adam to finish with those 4 in a row, and he talked about it. I want to stay aggressive. After he was already feeling like he got to, as good as he was going to get, stay aggressive and finish strong, and he did that. He's going to carry that momentum into tomorrow's round, but still a long way to go, but he's not out of it. He's certainly right in the thick of championship. What a great finishing location. So many good spots to watch. See the champion crowned on Sunday. Could be this guy right here. Bogey-free 36 holes for Isaac Robinson.
Well, it does close out with the birdie.
And I think
a very rough day.
I think about it for Isaac. I mean, he was bogey free today. He had 4 out of bounds, of which he went on to save par every single time. That is huge. Impressive day for Joey Buckets. He's going to stay on the lead card. I think overall a fantastic experience for Luke Taylor. Playing the lead card World Championship. Yeah, it wasn't his best day. Did finish with a really good birdie, and I think what we just saw out of Luke is that he has a lot of distance. You know, he was keeping up with Anthony Barella throughout the day.
And although bogey-free, he certainly would have loved the birdie to close out there. Shocking to see him not convert, but he is still your leader. Today, he's solo leader at 19 under.
Isaac, great round.
They're going to go make their scores official as they head into the clubhouse located just below our broadcast booth. Incredible property. If we were to go out on the porch, we'd see that exact scene right now. The setting for 2 of our next 3 rounds out here at Ivy Hill. Big thanks to our host and to the entire team, along with the PDGA, of course, Team Ledgestone, everyone else, presenting sponsor in Zuka. It's almost dinner time here on the East Coast there, Nate. And welcome back in, everyone. Nate, like you said, 2 rounds, bogey-free. What's a big takeaway that you saw, whether it's from Isaac or just in general today?
Well, first and foremost, isn't it always dinner time for you and I, Terry?
That's a good point.
No, what an amazing 2 days. It really was, not only for Isaac, but for several other players. There's a lot of guys still in it to win it. And I think overall, Ivy Hill today proved that it is up for the challenge of being the place to crown the champion. This course isn't going to give up. While we thought people were going to get to 10 under, they didn't. And it keeps biting back. Those OBs are in tough spots, and you got to make decisions as you play this course. Isaac's done a great job. He's going to have to continue to push forward because there's a lot of guys chasing him.
I'm glad I didn't. No one took me up on any bets about multiple 10 unders. Adam Hammis out in front alone with that hot score of 10 under. Congrats to him. We're going to take a quick break here on the network, and then we'll come back with Tournament Central. We'll break down everything else that we saw here in day 2 at the World Championships. We'll see you in a minute.
Introducing the Birdie Derby, a ready-to-run tournament package